Good evening, Professor. Today we're going to present our final presentation on the supply chain of Walmart. We believe that this presentation is very interesting and very relevant to today's supply chain world, given that the innovations that this company has brought to the forefront of supply chain management. We're going to start with analyzing the hub and spoke model. This was pioneered by the company in the early 1970s. Walmart picked up this strategy from the airline industry, such as Delta in 1995 and Southwest, and pioneered the way for the rest of the firms in the retail industry. Walmart used the hub and spoke model system, and in this system, the goods are ordered centrally and assembled in a gigantic warehouse known as the distribution center and called the hub. Products are then delivered to their individual stores, which are called the spokes. This allows the company to achieve leading cost advantages by taking part in the centralized purchasing process of their inventories in large quantities and distributing them through their own logistical infrastructure to retail stores across the country. Walmart has approximately 150 distribution centers, known as hubs, a fleet of 61,000 trailers and 6,100 tractors, and approximately 7,800 drivers that operate this fleet. Each distribution center is more than 1 million square feet in size and employs 600 plus personnel unloading and shipping over 200 trailers daily. Every distribution center supports 90 to 100 stores on a 150 plus mile radius.
So Walmart's company strategy. Initially, they had a strategy which was to provide customers with the goods they wanted whenever and wherever they wanted it. Throughout the success of this strategy, they were able to create cost structures. And throughout this cost structures, they developed extremely aggressive pricing strategies. These pricing strategies gave them an extremely strong competitive advantage, which transcended to their motto, everyday low prices. This was achieved and enhanced through the technological and a very structured supply chain, which helped them exploit their competitive advantage. Then, so how does the supply chain and the strategy analyzed align with the company strategy? So everything in the supply chain is to the point that they want to be extremely efficient and they want to have the lowest prices in the market. So the main correlation is cost leadership. They utilize procurement strategies, which allows them to better negotiate with suppliers. Their SKU system and innovative barcodes increase efficiency and reduce costs. They were the first in the industry to introduce barcodes. They have a really special relationship. Occasionally, they're called bullies with suppliers, and this allows them to have better prices and better material flows, and they try to keep inventories to the lowest. As well, they have a really advanced technology foundation, and this has allowed their supply chain to better forecast demands, track, predict inventories, create highly efficient transportation routes, and all of this has allowed them to have lower product costs, reduce inventory carrying, and improved variety within their stores.
Looking at how the supply chain strategy enhances the company's competitiveness. So their main competitive advantage is to provide products at a lower price than its competition. And its supply chain strategy aligns with this. They're leveraging their size through the hub and spoke model, and by that buying in huge quantities, allowing them to buy the product at a far lower price, and by that provide this lower price to the customer, enhancing the company's competitiveness. Besides that, they're negotiating deals with their suppliers to ensure that this product is not going to be available at the competitors for a lower price. And besides this, also sharing information through their supply chain allows them to to manage their inventories very well, and by that reduce costs as well, and also give the suppliers more information about the forecasted demand, and by that also allowing them to produce the product at a lower price. And all these supply chain strategies enable Walmart to increase its competitive advantage and being able to provide this product to the customer at a far lower price than its competition.
Okay, so moving on to the key success factors. Walmart has had a lot of experience due to the fact that it has been nearly 6 decades operating, having over 10,000 stores and employing over 2 million workers globally. Walmart would have never been successful if they did not have an almost perfect supply chain management. One of the most important factors is the price consistency and the chosen inventory. Even though they are very experienced in the market and having a traditional way of working, one of their priorities is having constant improvements and sustainability by making emerging technologies investment on a yearly or even monthly basis. The first key success factor is longevity. As mentioned before, longevity is key for them, even though for some businesses, the fact that they are very antique has been a problem due to the fact that they fail to innovate. For Walmart, the years of expertise in the sector, together with their ability to adapt to changes, has been crucial for it to be successful. In the 80s, they began dealing directly with the manufacturers, giving suppliers the job of managing inventory in its warehouses. The outcome was that the vendor managed inventory, reduces flow of inventory problems, and certain units are always in stock. They were very technologically advanced. For the time, as in 1975, they acquired a computer system inventory control and in all of its warehouses and distribution centers. It was all managed by databases, which reduced a lot of cost and increased efficiency, and all data is shared with the suppliers so they know when there are unit shortfalls and are empowered to proactively ship out more units. The second success factor is the refining of the supply chain. And it is what has kept Walmart being successful for so many years. It has been in Gartner's top 20 supply chains since 2010, which is a ranking of the most efficient supply chains. And in 2014, they were called the perennial supply chain powerhouse and were ranked world's top retailer in global sales, thanks to having a mature supplier collaboration process supported by the most innovative technology. This was because Walmart's purchasing power was leveraged to decrease the cost for its suppliers. And the three main improvements in the supply chain systems is its distribution practices, the fact that they operate their own trucks, and the massive technology improvements for inventory management, efficiency, and product forecasting. And finally, the final key success factor is that Walmart's supply chain management has always gone beyond technology. They have almost 120 million square foot network with 160 distribution centers allocated within a maximum of 130 miles of their designated stores. Due to this, over 80% of its merchandise was processed through these centers, and their implementation of cross-docking that really goes to departing trucks, which saves a lot of money and time. Plus, all of the drivers are totally insured.
Okay, so now we're going to be looking at the costs that Walmart's supply chain strategy implies. So as my colleague said before, Walmart's main priority is to save money, so low cost. To do this, they do an extensive research into their suppliers to make sure that they choose the one which will supply them at the lower cost. This leads to them having low flexibility to change suppliers once they have one. So if there's a problem with their supplier, they have a very low responsiveness. But the hub and spoke model, which Marcelo talked about a lot, increases this responsiveness by having a central distribution center, but it also increases inventory costs. And some of its strategy costs also show up after the supply chain. One example of this is how Walmart treats their employees. Because they have this big obsession with price, they sometimes don't treat their employees as they would like to be treated, which leads to high employee turnover, which is also a cost. Another cost that Walmart incurs is low customer loyalty. Because their products aren't always the best quality, rather they always have the most competitive pricing, their customers aren't loyal to them, which means they are very price sensitive, and Walmart must always maintain itself as a price competitor. Overall, this is a very good strategy, especially for Walmart, as most of the products they sell are functional products, meaning that they need to prioritize low cost over responsiveness.